Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be giving you 10 tips on how to get cinematic professional footage using the DJI Mavic Air. So let's go straight into it. So we're going to go straight into tip number 1, and that is to make the most out of the picture profile that you've been given with the Mavic Air. The picture profile you've been given is the D Cine, and this is a real low saturation, low contrast, and a real high dynamic image, and this makes it perfect to grade. If you go to the link in the top of the description, I have given you some LUTs that you can download right now, and you can add that onto your footage to make it look more professional, more cinematic, and it will make everyone go, mate, your footage looks incredible, how did you do that? And you just link them back to me, and I've got it sorted for you, don't worry. But yeah, that's tip number 1. Okay, so we're going straight into tip number 2, and that is to use manual mode. I cannot stress how much this can change the image. If you're shooting in auto and you're sort of looking down to the ground and you bring your camera up to look at the sky, you're going to see a big shift in the shutter speed, and I think it looks so unprofessional, and I just don't think you should do it. If you want to get high quality, beautiful looking cinematic footage, turn off automatic and get onto manual mode. So you want to be able to pick your own shutter, you want to be able to pick your own ISO and even the white balance. And that's going to take us straight into tip number 3 with how we can set the perfect exposures. Okay, tip number 3 is really going to help us get the perfect exposure for every shot you take with your Mavic Air. And this is the holy grail. You're going to want to use your histograms. You have to make sure they're turned on, because you do not want to be underexposing or overexposing your shots, because when you take that to grade, you're going to have a real tough time actually making it look decent. Make sure you're not clipping the blacks, and make sure you're not too high in them whites as well. You want a nice even tone in that histograms. So yeah, turn them on. They are so important to you, so make sure you use them and use them correctly. Okay, tip number 4 is to make a beautiful slow motion. Nothing looks more cinematic than a slow-mo shot. We all know that, and as filmmakers, we love using slow-mo. I love it, and that is one of the main reasons why I'm now shooting with the Mavic Air. So you want to make full use of the frame rates that the Air has given you. You've been given everything from 24 frames per second all the way up to 240. Now, my sort of favourite slow motion is around the 120 mark, and you also get full HD using that. So I definitely use it on the 120, get the incredible shots that you're planning to get, but shoot it on slow-mo, and then when you can take that to Premiere Pro or Final Cut or your favourite editing software, whatever you use, slow it down, have a look, and your footage will look incredible, beautiful, and slow-mo. I love slow-mo. Okay, so tip number 5 is to plan your shots. Now this is an underrated tip, because a lot of people would just get their drone and then just fly it off, and they'll just start filming all random little bits and bobs. It's exactly what I done when I first started flying the drone myself. But when I actually sat down and I started to think about the shots I wanted to get, then I started to actually develop my shots, develop my skills as well. So yeah, really think about what you want to get. Take your time, get your phone, write down a list. Think about what you want, but don't just send your drone up without a plan. Have a plan of action. Planning always helps. Number 6 is to layer your shots and to play with a foreground. So a lot of people sort of send their drone up and they don't normally think of a foreground, but I like to do that within my shots. And for an example, in this shot, you can see a tree in the foreground, and as I slowly fly past it, it just gives you that different sort of perspective, and it just makes it look more interesting. And that's what I mean by playing with layers. So yeah, next time you take your drone up, think about layers, think about a foreground, and the more layers you put in, the more dynamic you get within your shots. You get that nice sort of moving image. It's hard to explain, but I think you get the picture. Okay, tip number 7 is something I've mentioned a few times in previous videos, and that is to have a subject. Have a subject to actually focus in on and make your shots more interesting. If there's nothing moving around within your shot, within your landscape, try and produce something like a human. Use a human in your shots and that will make it look more interesting. So for an example, right now, we're on this beach, it looks nice, but you know, if I add a shot in with Jess sort of walking past and stuff, I think that's more interesting for the viewer to keep an eye on a subject. And then the background and everything else looks more interesting. So yeah, have a subject, make it interesting, and bring more life into your shots. Okay guys, tip number 8 is something really important to me, and this is what can ruin some people's footage sometimes, and I've seen it a lot on YouTube. Oh my god. But yeah. Okay, there's a wasp, everyone calm down. But back to tip number 8 is to slow down that gimbal. There's nothing worse than people's videos of them flying through this beautiful scenery and then suddenly they feel like they want to point the camera down and it goes look, 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 look. It just doesn't look that good. It looks juttery, it looks unprofessional, and I think you should really slow it down and just make it a bit more buttery smooth, and it just looks more cinematic. I like that style. So yeah, slow it down. Tip number 9 is to use multi-controls. So instead of just going forward, backwards, left and right, think about different ways that you can actually play with your drone and show the image off. So for an example, in this image, you can actually fly to the side and then also use the left handles to actually tilt the camera as well. And then it actually goes back to that layer system that I was talking about earlier in the previous tip. It just looks more cinematic when you play with different controls. So yeah, really figure it out and just playing with different ways that you can move the drone. Like you could fly up and to the side, down and to the right. You can move any direction you want. So yeah, try it out. It will make your footage look a lot better. Tip number 10 is a bit weird and it's different because it doesn't actually involve flying. And what I mean by that is to like this gimbal on the Mavic Air is incredible. It's 3-axis and it does the job. It's so smooth. So I really recommend using it as a handheld camera sometimes just to get that sort of real stabilized shot. You know, if you want to get some shots, like a real close-up shot of somebody's like feet walking on a beach or something, instead of flying it and potentially crashing your drone, just hold the thing and walk with it. Like there's no point risking your drone in any danger if you just want to get a close-up shot. So yeah, hold the camera sometimes. I've done it a few times with this drone and I've got some really cool shots. So yeah, it's a bit different. It doesn't involve flying, but I think it's a cool tip. Think about it. So guys, just because I'm super kind and super friendly, I'm gonna give you a bonus tip. And this tops all of the tips I've given you today. And that is to be safe. Just look into the rules and regulations of the country you're flying in, read up some facts, think about where you're flying. Are you going to be flying over people's heads, over a city, on a road? Think about it. Like, these things can be dangerous if you're going to fly into someone's face, and people need their faces to, like, you know, see and stuff. So, you know, look after people's faces, don't hurt anyone, and yeah, just be safe with the drone. So yeah, that's the most important tip today. Thank you guys for watching. I hope that all of these tips have helped you out and you start getting some better footage using the Mavic Air. Also guys, if you do want to purchase the LUTs, just go into the link in the top of the description. You'll be taken to my website and you can download them. There's tons of them that you can download and this will make your footage look incredible. The color grading is spot on. I've spent so much time putting these together. I want them to be used and I can't wait to see what you guys produce. And also send me your work on Instagram. I want to see it all. It's at Francis Darracott. Send me some love, send me a hi, send me a message. You can say hi as well if you want. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you're new, hey mate. If you're new, please hit subscribe, turn on channel notifications, and I will catch you in a video soon. Peace out, take care, and watch this skim. You ready? I reckon I can get about 9 skims. You ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Got 4, it wasn't 9, but that'd do. Yeah, but peace out guys, take care, and I love you lots. Peace!